spinning and spinning. And I'm like, I had to hotspot my phone.
Yeah, it was
I was
street.
Yeah, I don't know what was
I remember
going
the first live stream and it popped up like 3 different links to click.
Yeah, I was sweating bullets. Oh, we're on too.
Yep. We are here
together. I
together.
was sweating absolute bullets. But so I guess we'll just talk amongst ourselves, Jake. But
thanks for having me.
No, it's good to have you on board, mate. That was really aggressive. Hopefully, actually, while we just tee this up.
Yeah, just let the fans roll in. Gonna hit them up on the old Supercoach 360.
Put it out to the AFL 360 page.
Yeah,
because But tell me, Jake, what are you gonna do? Well, I'm sure we'll touch on it a lot as people get into the channel. But for those maybe watching this on the old re-stream or whatever you want to call it, what are you gonna do with Paddy Dangerfield? Just talk me through it.
Yeah,
talk me through it.
Depends what happens. To be honest, if best case scenario, he gets 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think,
and I'm holding him because
okay,
he's still going to be a top 5, 6 averaging forward.
That is very true.
Yeah,
that is very true.
And then he'll be a pod.
Should it pop up like that, or is that no?
No, that's fine. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, that's good. That's just a preview sort of image. So when it posts, it will come up. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I'm glad I can help you with the technical difficulties.
I always worry.
Yeah, no, by the time Dangerfield comes back, depending if it's 2 or 3 weeks, it'll be worth hanging on to him, I think, because he's still going to be. He played a terrible game, I think. He was giving.
And he's still skilled. He's still 91.
Scored 91, and then Sidebottom comes back this week too.
Because he always has a stack of contested possessions anyway. Like he does turn it over a touch, but you sure that's not right, is it?
Yeah.
So it looks like that all the time. And I guess we're getting some people on.
Because it's a live. It hasn't got like a thumbnail or anything.
I guess. We're on.
That's spooky.
Spooky. Spooky. I loved your comment on on the presser. Let's work through a few questions now.
We'll just get straight into it.
My eyesight is a little.
Do you want to introduce me
to
everyone? Or I'm just here.
This is
just a random man.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. This is Langers, good mate of mine, sort of acquaintance, but loves his Supercoach. We actually do a podcast together.
Yes,
a couple other mates.
We just finished doing the podcast. So
AFL Unlimited,
Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all of your sources.
Yeah, a couple of faces for radio. So feel free to jump on board with that. But
cool.
Obviously, we've got a lot to talk about today. Dangerfield and Rowell will headline that, and we'll probably voice our own opinions on that. I guess before we get into some questions, you're probably going to hold him if he's just out for the 2 weeks, trade him if he's out for 3.
So what I said before, a majority of people came, depends on the tribunal verdict. If it's 2 weeks, I'm definitely holding. 3 weeks, I'll have to assess the options. But I still think he's going to be a top 6 averaging forward. And by the time everyone gets rid of him this week and you're doing, primo for primo trades, he will be a pod basically by the time he comes back, and he's still going to average and play well. I think he had a pretty poor game, I think, from the Adelaide perspective in that game, and he scored well. So
the interesting thing is that's 2 weeks early in the year that you're without a premium. I just won at 30 trades. Is it ample? Yeah. Could you just afford to trade him out? I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so because it's right at the start and the price changes haven't come into effect, that's probably the main thing that's keeping me to that as well. If it was in the middle of the year, he's probably gone. But if it's 3 weeks, hey, Williams has missed that first week, I might be able to go Dangerfield to Williams and give me some cash as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You've still got the flexibility of not having, Williams play round 1 and score like 180 and he goes up and then you miss him. But
prices are changing after 3 rounds again.
I believe so, yes. So that gives us some room to move. So
let's smash some questions. Nathan, big man, a couple of big men. What's going on? Good to have you on board. Spooky, 2 guys, 1 video. He's a funny man, this bloke. You're a loose unit.
After
Spooky.
9 p.m. That starts.
Adele is on. How you going, Delzy? Tiz is coming home, so
we unchained him.
Get the bath running. Light the candles, get the bath going. Spooky is back. Also, just want to say my LDU call is the best I've ever made.
Well, it's 1 round, but
what did you score?
114. Yeah, he was looking like Someone said he looked like Simon Black in the first quarter. So, yeah, he looked good. But, yeah, let's not get carried away.
Big Jono, good to have you on board, mate. The famous. Luckily, don't have Danger or Rowell. Do I hold Adams and Liam Ryan?
Well, you wouldn't have Liam Ryan to start with. And if you've got Adams now, you've got to hold him, I think.
Yeah.
And give him 2 weeks to have his mini preseason playing AFL. And, 30 was a terrible score, and he had heaps of turnovers. I had him in draft, so I know the feels.
Well, I was pretty keen on picking Adams. Yeah. I nearly started. Well, I didn't really, but I say a month ago I was pretty keen. But I'd definitely hold him. Liam Ryan, I would not. And like you said, I wouldn't.
Scored? It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, look it up. But,
yeah,
keep the faith with Adams because you've sort of signed on to that deal, so you're just gonna have to ride that one out. Craig, nice to have you, mate. Good to see you.
There you go.
B, g'day, Shorty. How are you? You convinced me to jump off the mills. Mate, I am sorry, but if it's any consolation, I did it myself. Yeah. I stand by that call, though. Any bloke that gets a head knock, you just don't know. Yeah. You just don't know.
I think you deliriously racked up 154 Supercoach. Liam Ryan scored 70, so it's not the worst.
What's your price, though?
It's 409. So you wouldn't really want him anyway with that price. He's not really a premium option. If he was 200,
just like dancing with your sister. Not necessarily your
sister, because that has happened. But
whoa! Yeah, anyway, I didn't dance with it.
No.
Whoa! Holy shit!
Side bottom for Danger. Wait until we see what he's doing. Side bottom, Collingwood could be potentially a rabble. I'd probably go Danger to Williams, says B. That's a very good option in 2 weeks when some price changes happen, depending how Dangerfield's tribunal decision goes. If you want to trade Danger to Walsh this week, that's probably not a bad decision. Sorry to hijack your questions, mate.
No, mate, we'll take it in turns.
I just do most of the rest of the content for your channel as well. So if you die, I'll just take this channel over. So.
Langer's super cool. Langers also has a photography channel, can take a photo. So feel free to
I also do all your profile pics as well.
Most of my Tinder photos are from Langers. So indirectly, you are a good wingman. But I think my opinion, just off the top, we've got a few joining now. For me, I'm probably trading Danger out regardless. But for me, it's a little bit unique because he's in my midfield, just the way it's worked. Okay. So if he was in my forward line, I don't know what I'd do because there's not as many options. But he's in my midfield, so I'm probably looking at Tom Mitchell. If you can reach Clayton Oliver, I'd be looking at doing that. A lot of discussion about Travis Boak. Look, it's not a bad pick, but
just wait.
It's just like it's one amazing score.
You can't trade in 160 points.
Yeah, you can't get
score
those
80
points
next week, and you'll be raging. So, and it's Monday. Team, oh my god! So we've got a violent game of COD happening in the lounge room too. It's Monday. You can't do anything until the teams start coming out because. Another premium will miss, rookies will miss, Bergman probably comes out, and then instead of trading Dangerfield, you probably have to trade Bergman to Berry or someone else. I've got Ollie Henry.
Yeah.
I'd love to trade Ollie Henry to Berry this week, but again, I'll probably wait for price changes to happen. There's no point. He's not going to lose any money, but he will lose money when his price change happens because his break-even's already 42.
Yeah, he needs to
thanks,
get
Oliver.
Going. And I think for Rowell, if you can get up to Walsh big time, I'd do that. If not, and if you don't have Taranto, I think he's probably your guy.
Yep.
You can get a little bit of coin, or maybe Adam Chera might light the
Andrew
fire.
McGrath as well.
Yeah. What did McGrath score again?
He scored like 120 or 118 or something, and he's 5'10", so he's a little hop, skip, and jump up from Rowell. So
that's true.
Yep.
Let's.
How are you feeling about your rucks, Shorty? That's a big issue as well, isn't it?
Where are we? Oh, true. Patrick
in the live chat.
I'm a bit slower with the technology, mate.
Fine.
I'm just trying to not pull out this cord this time. My rucks, look, they could have gone better, but I don't really change anything after round one.
Did you have Grundy and
Draper?
Had Draper go 60 odd?
76. It's not trash, but
he was up against 2 Ruckman though.
Yeah,
same as Grundy. It was up against Martin and English.
Yeah, I would have liked more, but I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say. I think pretty much unless I have to trade anyone, I'm giving them 2 weeks. So let's see. Let's hope they respond.
This spooky mookie bloke. Langers goes to clubs and talks to tens about his best pod call from 5 years ago. I actually don't go to clubs, so that is not factual. But yes, I would definitely talk to people about my pod call from 5 years ago.
It's what I do in the clubs, mate.
Yeah. And annoy Darcy Parish. So.
That's why I come home alone every night. We skipped a couple of people there. We got Craig trading in Boak for Danger. So he's on the Boak train. Yeah. Is this a good move? Also, Warple out for James Jordan. 475. He's just pulled the trigger on Warple already. Look, if you committed a full preseason to Warple, I'd give him one more week. I think I wouldn't go nuts. And there's no reason that, Jordan, we've still got to see Viney come back. And I'd just hold fire.
Warple did score 45.
Yikes, didn't know it was 45. Fair enough.
I wouldn't be trading any premiums.
No.
Unless they're injured or suspended.
Like the thing is, if you've picked this side after 2-3 months of preseason, don't trade guys that you were confident in a week ago out for just one poor week.
Yeah.
And like we touched on before, Boak is it's a solid move. It'll be a flavour of the week move. I wouldn't do it. I don't think he'll be a top 8 mid. He might sneak in. No, Boak.
Oh, Boak, yeah.
He'd be in and around
top
that
10. Yeah.
He'd be in and around that 8 sort of mark. Big Jono, thoughts on the Ruckman scoring dramas, Shorty? Yeah, it's big dramas. What do you make of that, mate?
It happened last year too.
Yeah.
I think Gawn and Grundy both scored pretty poorly in the first round, and they're still going to be 1 and 2 ruck. So calm down. It's literally Monday of round 1.
Yeah.
If you had Matty Flynn at ruck 2 to start with, great, good job. I made the mistake of going Hunter. I thought he's a mature player. He's going to score well. He's going to get up to 450k. He wasn't an AFL player 6 weeks ago. So thanks for reminding me about that. Flynn's been on an actual AFL list for a long time. So don't try and trade Flynn in for your ruck 2. He's not going to score 139 every week. He might still score solid 80s. That's fine. But unless Hunter does terribly and Flynn keeps going really well before his first price rise, don't do anything there. Hold firm with Gawn and Grundy or your premium rucks if they've scored poorly. Give them a couple weeks. Yeah, I totally agree with that, mate. Let's not go crazy after 1 week. Nath is on board. How you going? Tom Hickey, discuss. Scored 123, but the Swans were absolutely demolishing the Lions. Is it an interesting price? 200 and something? Yeah, it was around 220, 240, something like that. He's never really been a premium scorer, though, and I don't see how. I guess he's number 1 ruck now. I don't think Sinclair's going to come in. What about Naismith? Where's he at? I don't know. I don't know. I think he's dead again. But he's constantly injured. I personally wouldn't go after him. There's always a tendency to chase big round 1 scores. Yeah. You see a guy go and you think they can repeat it, but Tom Hickey's been around a long time. I don't see him all of a sudden becoming a premium. He looks good in red and white, though. Yeah, he looks great. He had a good day, and he'll have other good days, but I don't think he's a guy we want to bring to our side. Naismith's on his knee. Yeah, I thought that. So, okay. The only trades, if you had to do trades, I think, would be correctional rookie trades. Make sure you've got that cash generation. Still, you've got 2 weeks for price rises to make sure. Like Berry from Adelaide, I don't have him. He looked really good. He looks locked into that midfield, but Matt Crouch still needs to come back. So, which isn't any time soon. Yeah, I think Mitchell Hinge will probably go out because his shoulder popped out a couple of times. So, like I mentioned before, Ollie Henry, I'll probably correctional trade him to Berry. But you always see how they go. Round 1 rookies. Goulden could score 37 next week, and Henry could score 94. Yeah, it can happen. You just don't know. Yeah. And rookies, they're not premiums. They're going to be up and down. Goulden, no one saw that coming. No one saw that coming. That was an awesome performance. Keep your powder dry. 2 weeks. Try and keep all things dry. Yeah. B's back. Thoughts on Stephenson? He's playing mid. You called him a trap, I believe. Yeah, and I stand by that. Yep. I think what traps do. They lure you in. Yes, he does that. I think, good score, but I still see him as an inconsistent type. It surprised me that he scored so well in a really dominant performance by the opposition. But I don't think they paid him any attention at all. And let's not forget that you got Cunnington coming back. You've got Luke McDonald. Yep. You've got Trent Dumont.
and Jed Anderson.
Yeah,
so
that's a great point. And when they all come back, he'll be playing small forward again.
Yeah, I think 100% he's destined for more forward time as the season goes on.
How do you spell Jaden? J-I-Orden.
J-A-I. I think yeah. Adele, dyeing my nails while he picks up my brother.
Drying my nails.
Drying my nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think you
dyed
your nails
no,
necessarily.
You normally paint them.
Nice one, Dalsey. Well, when you're done, just come over and do my nails, could you? Maybe Jake's as well.
Aaron Chapman, I've picked Berry hoping for a pod primo. Thoughts?
Well, I've been tricked on Berries before, but he must mean Jared.
Jared.
He must.
Don't pick Jared.
No.
I think if you're looking for a pod primo from Brisbane, look at Jared Lyons.
Yeah. I think
he's going to score 90
Rainer,
to 100 every week, I think.
Yeah.
In the midfield, that is. So, geez.
Look at Craig.
Craigie boy. He's absolutely scored really well this week.
Craig's one of my main men. He's
I thought I was.
He's on the inbox. We do chat every now and then. He's
ranked 337.
He's a good fella.
How many weeks do you reckon Danger is getting? 2 or 3? Probably 3.
I think he'll probably get 3.
That deserves 3.
Just getting the vibe of it.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll want to be harsher. I know it's all down to your grading and whatnot, but
from a football perspective, we did discuss that heavily on the podcast. For the new people that have just joined, I'll keep plugging this while I'm here. AFL Unlimited on Instagram and Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We will be, all episodes are up Tuesday morning, normally at 10 a.m.
Are you still on Pornhub?
Oh my goodness. There's great viewer interaction on that, so I might upload it there and get some fan engagement. But 10 a.m. Tuesdays, we have the podcast out. So anyone listening, feel free to jump on that. We'll discuss that further. But Supercoach, Zeeble, I think I messaged you and said Zeeble was going to turn up.
You did.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. He played real well.
He was great. Yeah.
And probably benefited a little bit with Luke McDonald out. Like he was just taking all the kick-ins. But
that's stressful.
He's actually a good intercept mark. He's better than I thought.
He might be a keeper. He might be a keeper in the forward line.
Well, he could be.
Yep.
What do we got? Aaron, side bottom definitely playing, but I'm waiting to see. Yeah, I agree with that, mate.
Yeah.
Dylan, what if Danger is your only forward primo? Should I trade him for Tommy Mitchell? And my F1 is Zeeble. Oh,
no, get Dusty in. Get Dusty in or Dunkley.
Yeah. I think if you don't have Martin, like Langers rightly suggests, definitely bring him in.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Beautiful. The famous one is back. Did you see Ryan's last 10 or so rounds? Also, he was the Liam Ryan pick. I had him as a smoky pipe. Didn't do too much. Scored 70. Yeah. I mean, he's a beautiful kick. He's a likely type footballer, but I just think he's the sort of guy that'll drift in and out of games.
He was playing a bit of mid towards the end of the season. So they had Yo was out and they had Shuey out again, which they did for this game. But TK was just dominating the mid. So
I respect the POD thoughts, but I think
don't give up. It might still pay off. He kicks goals, and he tackles and he marks. Which
is a really nice field kick.
Yeah, 100%. He'd still, he might average 80, 90. That's not terrible, but
like I said, if you've picked him and you've done the pre-season, you spent the money, just give him 2 weeks at least. What about Dusty? Aaron says, well, he's taking the words out of our mouth. 100%. If you needed any convincing, well, Thursday night did that for you.
It also helps when no one goes near him and tackles him, and they're scared of tackling him, so they half tackle him, and then he just fends you off and gives high free kicks away that don't get paid. So
it's crazy how untackleable he is.
It's not. People are actually rattled by him, which is all the more reason why people should select him, because he's now round 1. He's had a massive game. He's going to be switched on for this year again. Adele's just called you a grandpa also. So
thanks, Dalsey. Well, you're welcome to come around any Saturday and have a few drinks and dye my nails and
Josh Closter, Tom Green playing forward pocket. Now, this is concerning me. Jacob Hopper was doing what
I told you. Jacob Hopper's a star, man. I said
but he wasn't doing that, and Tom Green was playing what Hopper was doing, and that stressed me because I had Cripps and Hopper, and one of them had to be like really good pick. And right now it looks like what's his name? Green.
Are you okay?
Green. And you took Green out, you prick, right before round 1, and I took him in draft as well. So thanks.
Tom Green, he made an 11th hour exit out of my side. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm a hero, what a great move, because it wasn't a decision I made thinking he was going to score bad. It was just how I structurally wanted to get rid of Danaher. But it turned out positively.
Mm.
The thing I reckon is if players can score 60, they can score 80. They can, but it's the role.
Yeah.
If
he can do it.
If a guy's playing in a certain role, that's what worries me. If a guy's playing forward pocket and scores 100, it doesn't mean I'm all about it because anyone can have a good day in the forward pocket sometimes. It's just check out those roles. It can be concerning.
Maybe with a loss, they sort of tinker a bit with who plays where.
Yeah. I mean, it surprises me because Heath Shaw, the Supercoach expert, he was like, Tom Green's an inside mid. It's the only spot he's going to play.
Yeah, that's what
that's what gave me a fair bit of confidence.
I guess Toronto coming back.
Yeah. Which was always a chance, but Brad, Danger and Rowell gone, Tom Mitchell and Bailey Smith, I'm thinking he means.
Hopefully not Brody.
Yeah, true.
Bailey
or Boak
Smith.
or Walsh. Cheers, love the Pies. Thanks, mate. Cheers for the question.
Bailey Smith, 490-something K, scored really well, was playing on the wing. It's probably going to be a Western Bulldogs roundabout of who scores the 125 and who scores the 80 each week. So,
of those options, I'm going Boak and Walsh. I think.
Smith
I don't think Bailey Smith, we would have been, like you said, saying that he's probably down the order a little bit, and at times he'll get a little bit of Tom Green treatment. He'll find himself
100%.
in a half-full flank and that type of thing. So I'd be going Boak and Walsh on that one. Will, what about Neil for Macrae? Will, just head to the kitchen, mate. Put the kettle on, cup of tea.
Stick your head in the fridge.
Just find yourself the couch and just relax a little bit.
Neil will be in your team the whole year. So
he's a guy.
Don't worry about losing money. He'll score 100 million against Geelong this week, so don't worry.
Rowell today says you have the syndrome, as in Will, who was bloody impressive.
Really good. Wait and see. Wait and see.
It's a bit much of a muchness, that one. Like, I don't know, I'd be more inclined to go for a Taranto or a Walsh if you can. I just think you're bringing in a bloke that you're eventually going to get rid of, where maybe you can keep Taranto the whole year. If you can get up to Walsh, I'm pretty confident you can keep him most of the year. As good as Will Day is, you're not keeping him all year.
It's not a premium.
So.
Same goes for Celeb City. Same thing. Joshy Boy again. Intercept markers worth their weight in gold as teams move the ball faster in transition. Yeah, it's a good point. We saw that in Stephen May and Jake Lever. I can't really remember a lot of other intercept markers being overly dominant. Darcy Moore, probably the other one.
Luke Ryan.
Did he have a big game? Did he? Or?
I don't know if he did on the weekend, but I guess as a general rule.
It's a good pickup. I'd wait and see exactly how that's going to go. We thought maybe the running defenders are going to have a lot of the pill off the stand rule and kick it inside 50, but it might be with the more rushed inside 50s, the other defenders are going to pick off a lot more ball. But
it may have a very slight at times view, but I wouldn't be rushing out looking for an intercept defender off the back of that. And Ricky says, how are you feeling about Mills? I had him all preseason and stuck fat. Stoked with him. Yes. You should be stoked. I was a little bit, annoyed that I didn't go with him, but equally I went for Stewart or Daniel, either one, whichever way you want to cut that one. So I think a lot of people will be looking to get Mills in throughout the season, and I was singing his praises all pre-season. But Aaron, Shorty, should have picked Phillips over to Goey. It's 1 week, buddy. It's 1 week. I think Phillips only scored about 90, so it's not as though he set the world on fire. But I'll be on to Goey watch this week, and I'm happy to give him another crack. And if he dishes up another stinker, then I'm going to turf him, but I'm going to give him another one. Tom says, should I keep Wines for another week or see how he goes? Jeez. He didn't score well, Wines, because I heard he was he had 30 touches, didn't he?
Knocked on his ass, I think, as well.
Yeah, right.
At one point too. So.
Probably sounded like a bit of a broken record, but if you've paid this sort of coin and you've done the whole preseason with him, just give him 1 more week. That would be what I would endorse. Austin, is Tom Mitchell a good replacement for Danger? Yep, I think he is. I reckon he's right up there in the guys that I'm sort of having a look at. Just so.
Ryan scored 81. That's not a bad.
No, it's not.
That's not a bad.
It's not something that should have you panicking.
Absolutely not. That's a pretty much a standard poor score for a premium.
Yeah.
In whatever. What are you laughing at?
Spooky questions.
Type of guy to. Oh my god, that is inappropriate for a super coach. Okay.
That is loose as.
De Goey to Heaney. Don't trade De Goey. Heaney, keep an eye on, but I think he's going to be playing forward all year.
Yeah,
and he got some amazing ball delivery.
He did.
Some lace out delivery, and he was actually quite accurate, kicking 3 goals.
I think, he's playing that role again. This is a good example of a role versus a score.
Yeah,
he is playing forward. I think we missed Jesso there. Boak and Dusty or Tom Mitchell and Zorko for Rowell and Danger. Let me dissect that.
Boak and Dusty, surely.
Mitchell. Well, I think he's looking at his mid replacement is Boak or Mitchell for Danger, and then you could
go with either. Zorko scored pretty well, actually.
Yeah,
I don't think we should discount. I think what I was saying, you had a pretty good preseason.
Yeah. And I guess with Rayner going down, he might play a little bit more mid.
I remember the days where he was like F2.
Yeah,
Zorko.
Yeah. I'd probably preference getting in Dusty over just about everything.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be more consistent.
And he's going to go up.
He's not going to score 150 every week.
No,
he'll pretty much score 90 plus every week. Zorko might be small forward sometimes.
Yeah. Evening, Brad. Good to have you on board, mate. Anthony, I should have kept Mills.
You should have kept Mills, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Need more table tennis vids. Yeah, that was all
Nathan with the table tennis vids. Okay.
That was me. So I just edited all that and lost very poorly, but I was focusing on the edit. So, thanks,
we should
Nathan.
make one then, yeah.
We'll be doing goal kicking videos as well throughout the year, and maybe some footy golf, maybe some actual golf.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe naked wrestling.
Craig says your top 5 Danger replacements. Wow.
If it's forward line.
Yeah, true.
Depending who you have. If it's forward line, probably Dusty, Dunkley, Titch for the midfield.
Yeah.
For the midfield. It's hard to say without
honestly,
team.
If you look at midfield, just bring in Tom Mitchell. And if you can get up to Clayton Oliver, like premium for premium. If you're forward, you've got Martin Dunkley, of course. I mean, you might throw Zorko into the mix now. If you watch the Brizzy game, if you got a feel for where he played, I didn't see all of it, but I was really impressed with Bolton at the Tigers. I know he scored, didn't say as much.
One to keep an eye on.
And some people might have been pleased with Butters, but top 5 rookies. Look, I don't think much changed, really. I mean, Goulden showed his stuff. If you don't have Rowe, you need him. Flynn, of course.
Make sure he's in your field and on your bench.
Yeah. And, really, I think you still need Campbell. I think you still need Powell. They didn't light the world on fire, but otherwise, I think, again, wait and see. Particularly round 2 is more important in a way because if you score well in round 2, you'll get 2 price rises off that score, as opposed to Goulden will only benefit from his ton once.
If Goulden scores 9 this week, that 139 means nothing pretty much. So Stevenson, is he a keeper? We spoke about that before. It depends if he stays in the midfield, which he likely isn't. So when he starts playing small forward again and scores 40, probably not. Speaking of here again,
he's back.
Playing against runners with pingers. It actually doesn't. But what's the worst pick you've ever made in Supercoach history? Probably the year I picked Steph Martin, and I came on one of your pods, and I was Steph Martin's going to score so well, and that was the year Gordon Grundy was like, they just dominated, and I was like moving things all year trying to fit Gorn, and Steph Martin was scoring 30s and 40s, and he just went down to 300k or something. I just couldn't do it.
What about when you went Menegola, I went Tim Kelly, and they just went
Menegola wasn't a terrible pick,
he wasn't.
Kelly just was he was just scoring 110 and Menegola was scoring 70. Yeah. I think Kane Lambert killed me one.
Oh, Kane Lambert, that's right.
Kane Lambert killed me one year.
He barely touched it for a half one day. We were watching the footy.
I was rattled. And I think I picked
Kane Lambert,
Toby Nankervis one year as well, and it killed me.
Nankervis.
Nankervis. He's killed me in the ruck a couple of times. Thoughts on Jay Crisp as a def pod? Yep. He'll score pretty consistently. for a
Like
pod.
he'll be consistent, but
it's probably other.
Do we need pods in the back line?
No, there's
like
plenty
enough.
There's plenty of good.
Like
options,
there's so many good options that we know already. I don't know. I mean, he'll score all right, but I'd sort of keep it simple. But
keep it simple.
Brad is back. If you had Danger and Rowell in the mids plus 43k in the bank, which two mids would you take? Scored 2127. Well, that's a pretty handy score, mate. That'll put you right up there. Yeah, if I had that option, I'd be going Rowell down to whoever takes your fancy just to free up an extra little bit of coin, and then I'd be going Dangerfield to Oliver. That is what I'd definitely do, and take your pick with Rowell. I'd preference Taranto. And what are you smirking at, mate? What do you got?
We need a band.
No,
we need a band.
Spooky's good, mate.
He's
loose
from the
as
chat.
fuck, you know.
Yeah,
So would you do much different? Like Dangerfield, we've talked a bit in terms of Rowell.
Yep.
If it's not Taranto, what are you thinking here? Walshy,
yeah. Walsh, McGrath. There was another decent.
Chera. Would you think about him? Not quite. No. Just dismissing the young man.
What did he score?
120.
Did he?
I think he's the second best mid in their team.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll have to keep an eye on it. How much is he?
I want to say 470.
He's in that category of he hasn't been premium, and you don't want to pick unless he absolutely nailed their breakout. You don't want to pick them and they spud it up. So, but yeah, he was good last year. So,
Mohammed, what is the best replacement for Rowell at the price range? Well, hopefully we just touched on that one for you, and Taranto is definitely one. Spooky, your mate, you've probably already read this one, Langs, but I'm going to read it out live without even listening. I haven't pre-read it. Shorty, do a Tinder profile reveal. Let's see your methods needed to be able to. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's very inappropriate.
That's brutal. Coach. That's a brutal comment.
Yeah.
Should I just reveal the Tinder right now?
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, I would trade your Tinder out.
How would you assess my game with the ladies, Jake? Would you love to see your future daughter come home with a young man like me?
No, definitely not. Because I know the bed won't be made and there'll be clothes all over the floor. I love your debut into AFL 360. You're like, hey guys, here's the link to my first video, and the bed was just like a mess. Everyone's like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, he doesn't make his bed. Cool.
Don't be a fake person, mate. The bed's not made now. And
it won't be made afterwards either. Boys, if Danger's out for 3 weeks, swap into midfield or trade. I reckon if it's a 3, get rid of him for Dusty for sure. What do we do with the P. Cripps from Travis? Looked good early, but couldn't run out the game. Very frustrating. Hold him, mate. He'll be back big time. He was taking players on left, right, and centre, and it was working. Carlton just fell off the end towards the end, but he still scored 88, so it's not a terrible score. He'll be back, don't worry.
Yeah.
Grundy to Flynn, says Michael. No,
that's a bit trigger happy.
Yeah, it's a bit triggering.
Keep the faith. I mean, Grundy did look a bit poor, but he's a star of the game.
Steph Martin is negating Ruckman. So
that's true.
English was just taking all the credit, and Steph Martin was just like bashing up Grundy. So
and Flynn's just as good a chance to score 120 as he is 60.
Yeah,
100%. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jack, Tom Powell, job security. Oh,
pretty good.
Probably better than most rookies. Yeah. I mean, there are a few North mids that are coming back, that's for sure, but they like him, and I think if he plays half-decent footy, they're going to want to play some youngsters. So, Josh, boys, give a quick shout-out to my young blokes, Harry and Dusty.
Shout-outs.
Mad Demon supporters. Like, well, shout-out to Harry and Dusty.
Demon supporter, you named him Dusty.
Yeah.
Must have been the wife that goes to Richmond. No, good day, boys.
Should have named him Travis after good old Travis Johnston. What a throwback.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know Travis Johnston?
No, who's that? Don't know.
For the days that he went to Brisbane, had a gambling problem.
No. Definitely
Really?
don't know him, Travis. And g'day, boys. Hope you're enjoying the pod. Hope you're enjoying me on. It's my one appearance of the year. I'll come back again.
You'll come back.
Jacques
Delaine.
Jacques.
What a name.
Yeah, that's a ripper. That's very French.
Hey, shorty, do you trust?
No, you got to do it in French. Hey, shorty, do you trust Stevenson as a long-term replacement for Dangerfield? No.
This is what this man brings.
Or not, as they say in France. No,
shit.
don't.
Definitely not, no.
Austin Vander
Wanamiri?
Niff? No, Austin Vander Niff.
Is 2 trades too
Sorry
many
if
for this round, or should just do one?
Don't
I'm
be
forced to do at least one
with
with Danger. No, I mean, unless you're forced to do 2, then no, I'd just hold your powder or hold your whatever you want to call it, and then just do 2 trades in round 2 once we get a little bit more of a sample of it.
Spooky's back.
He's back. He fires some questions off as the fella. Spooky. All right, 2 guys, 1 super coach. Yeah, 8. I got an absolute 10 coming to pick me up for a late night McFlurry. How do I end up back at mine watching the 1999 grand final with me? Look, I don't care how you get it back to yours, mate, but just suss out what sort of friend she has, then inbox me directly.
That's probably going to be your best chance at the moment. Dear me.
Me and Spooky could go on a double date.
It won't end well for most of the population of Geelong. GRB Aquatics. G'day, guys. Danger and Fullerton, Dehaney and Gordon. Did Fullerton not score well?
I think... Am I wrong in saying he scored 28?
Holy crumbs. There was some poor rookie scores. Oh, gosh. Fullerton with 4 Ls is what I did. Ruck forward. He scored 38. So not 38. He didn't absolutely... If he stays in the team, keep him in the forward, like D8, F8. Yeah. Just keep him there to have that flexibility with a swing if you need to muck around, depending on your ruck situation. Looks like if you got Gawn or Grundy or Hunter or Flynn or Meek, and maybe Treacy comes in, and you can sort of use that ruck bench spot and that F8 spot and sort of muck those 2 around if Fullerton stays in.
Because we've got a bit on our plates. Unexpected on our plates. But what I would normally stress is the rookies, the first 2 rounds are all about making sure after 2 weeks you've got the best rookies. Yep. So
you've got a week still.
Rather than correcting this premium that didn't go as good as you thought, or that, just make sure you've got the best rookies, because this game's all about making money and trading guys in when you need it. But
should we drop Gawn for cash if he doesn't play well this week? Says halves.
No, we should not. Keep your faith. If ever you feel like you've got that sort of a mindset, just put the bath on, run the salts, light a candle, and just calm down. A few deep breaths. There's no need to be doing that. Where are we up to? Johnny. Hey, boys. Been a rough round 1. Coxie's big break. For me, just wondering who's a better option, Dusty
big break in
or Walsh replacing Danger. Well, I mean, it's clearly Dusty if this is your forward line we're talking about. If we're talking midfield, then, I mean, Walsh I wouldn't exactly jump at for Dangerfield. That's probably one I err on maybe towards Rowell. It will free up a bit of coin, but Danger's more of a super premium, so I'd probably look to trade in a super premium for him. Your Tom Mitchells, your Clayton Olivers, your any
McRae's,
of those types of types of guys. So... Declared. Hey, Shorty, what's your feeling about rucks overall? As it seems with the new rules, there is less contested ball and points per value. They are overpriced. I mean, I think they're definitely going to drop maybe a little more than we thought, but we could be talking this time next week after Gawn scored 160 as your captain and Grundy's dominated Pitnet and he scored 120. So
Hunter leaked points against Flynn and Gawn is the best ruck in the comp. So he's pretty much going to lock in 140 plus score, I think, unfortunately.
So I think there might be a little bit of merit in that we're not going to see guys like that average high 120s or things like that they've done previously, but I don't see them dropping below 115, personally.
If you own both Danger and Rowell, do you go 2 550k players or a 650 and 450 player, says Darcy K. Like what Shorty just said, get that uber premium in the mid, and you can probably afford Dusty somehow, make some room to get Dusty or one of those sort of F2, 3 players that are floating around at the moment, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, 650 is like
anyone.
Your Oliver range, your
McRae,
basically anyone. I think it all depends really who that 400k guy is.
Yeah.
But I'd build the side around guys that are going to stay in your team all year. So those Uber premiums are the ones to go.
Go in the coffin then. You have a bit of a cold. He's like,
I do, yeah. The voice may go on me at times.
Very rustic.
What are you up to? Global sports card investor.
That's great.
Just a little investment. Mills for danger via DPP. Yeah, if you can do that, I'd be getting Millsy in. Jonathan, he's been getting involved a bit lately. Good stuff. Flynn and Must after next week. Went with Hunter as R3. Yeah, I think he is a must, and Langers is probably...
Get him for that price rise there. That's probably what I'll be doing.
Feeling a similar pain there. So, yeah, for sure. Unless Flynn scores something really poor this week, I think he's your man. Isaac, Tom Mitchell over McRae.
If you can afford McRae, get McRae. But if you can't, then go Mitchell. They're pretty much one and the same.
I mean, I said all pre-season I wanted to sort of see what the doggies mids were going to do, and I think
McRae's
I
always
probably saw enough. I mean,
yeah.
they're such a high possession team.
McRae's always going to rack Pillar, and they're always going to look for him because he's the best kick in their team apart from Daniel in the midfield. So either of them are fine. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Ryan E says, I reckon bin Grundy for Flynn as Flynn was on my bench and upgrade elsewhere. No, keep Grundy. If you got Flynn on your bench, that's great. He's not going to score 139 next week, and he's going to make you a lot of money. So keep Grundy for now. Tommy says, thoughts on LDU. Great person. Yep.
Someone's just called me. Do you think it could be spooky?
Could potentially be. If it's from a payphone, potentially. While you do that, I'll LDU. We mentioned it before. If all those mids come back for North, Anderson, Cunnington, McDonald, Demont, he might. He's not going to score 114 every week, that's for sure. But what price is LDU? Do you know?
I feel like he might be either maybe 454 or something like that.
It's just a weird price, isn't he?
Yeah. I think if you've got him to start with, you're happy. I think chasing him is probably no need. Unless it's a Rowell replacement, then you might think about it. But what is he priced at?
My internet's not working. We live out in a swamp.
Don't give away my address, but we're not going to be door. Ryan, reckon. Oh, you said that. Will Dixon, Boak,
Charlie's brother,
or Mills, best trade in for Dusty.
I think he means through danger.
Yeah, he must. Rookie spread is fine regardless.
Both Martin or Mills will be through DPP, probably Boak and Mills. But if you're directly replacing the forward line, Martin for sure.
Yeah, I think
rookie spread.
It just probably depends how you want to set up the rest of your team with the dual position.
Yeah.
I did too. Yeah. Martin's a must-have in the forward line. I think Mills announced himself as a must-have in the back line. So. Harneet, thoughts on 200k defender Lockie Young? Yeah, he was impressive. He slotted in quite nicely.
What he scored?
85, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I watched a bit of that game, and he seemed to just get a few touches.
Man bun.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do a lot worse. I'd like to see one more week, particularly if Luke McDonald plays.
Yeah, for sure. He might be playing McDonald's role.
Yeah, that's right. I think McDonald's always going to be the kingpin, so therefore Zeeble might drop a touch, Lockie Young might drop a touch. So give it one more week and then maybe pull that trigger. Aaron, thanks, fellas, for the opinions.
Aaron just launched 10 questions in. He's just like, peace out.
Aaron's like, I've got a dinner date at 8 o'clock. I'll smash me questions.
That's who he's meeting up with. Yeah. He's got his McFlurry date.
Half backs.
I think she's winning the Brownlow. Jeepers.
I like that.
He will one day, but maybe not this year.
You could probably argue he's got 2 votes, maybe even 3. Oh, he won't have
Darian says, worth moving Rowell to Zeeble and then upgrade my defensive mid-pricer to Williams after round 3. That's a great move.
Yeah.
Darian?
I think Zeeble's a must, isn't he?
Yeah, he almost is. Just from job security and scoring probably 70 or 80 every week.
Yeah.
And probably be at F6 by the end of the year.
Kappa-sman. Sorry, a bit late. What should I do with Dangerfield?
Just rewind like 44 minutes.
You are a bit late, mate, but if you've got him in the forward line, Dustin Martin's your man. Otherwise, you might just want to have a bit of a think about it. Dunkley showed that he can still produce. Forward line, Midfield, I should say. Mitchell, try and get Oliver. McRae's on fire. But yeah, definitely, if you're not pleased with that answer, I'm sure it won't be the last we speak of it for this. Judah, Dangerfield to Dunkley.
Do it.
Yep. Couldn't argue with that.
Yep.
AFL Amusement, Merritt or Tommy Mitchell to get in for Danger. It's a popular topic of conversation for many. I would definitely be going Tom Mitchell on that front.
You want to take this next one?
Nathan, thoughts on
who's
on Wayne Kerr's debut?
Oh, that's Nick's brother.
Nick's brother. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's
treat
why
me like
I'm just your mediator for this. So.
You're my media manager to make sure.
Me and Watto were messaging you like, Shorty, shut up.
I'm like, hey boys, what's going on? I'm going
You're
live.
switching up. Who's Nick?
I'm a hardcore racist.
Sorry, I just screamed in the microphone. Sorry, everyone sees. Billy Boy, Footy and AFL. Is Dusty a lock as Danger replacement? He's definitely a lock in your forward line. If you don't have him, get him in. Mashed Potato says yes. Correct. Stephen McKenzie.
Stephen.
You're
just throwing Stephen around in a weird sort of way.
Stephen McKenzie. If we don't have Rowell and Danger, do we use a trade side swapping rookies, for example, McNeil to Jordan? I definitely think you should get Jordan in before the price rises because he looks like he's going to score really well.
If you don't have Dangerfield or Rowell, you're a lucky man out there. I think in that case, just hold fire, give all the rookies, another week.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know what could happen. Jordan could come out, score 39. All of a sudden, it's not as appealing. But I would probably say McNeil's probably one to get out of your side, but we'll just have to wait and see.
He's very small forwardy. Yes, to Christian, get Dangerfield down to Zeeble for sure. Save some cash.
Nice.
Do you want to take this one short?
And that's banger. That's a name and a half. Thoughts on Huge G Reaction
is a rookie. Oh, Clarko is named his debut. Yeah, but he'll actually be the medical sub, so he won't actually play. So don't select him.
Hugh's got a lot of upside. Got a high ceiling. He's a bit up and down though.
Yeah. Oh, he's a flopper though.
If he's nervous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen often. I like Turtle, says AFL Amusement. Spot on.
He likes turtles.
And
nice.
Spooky double date Geelong Hotel, 2 specimens with 10s.
Will you come to Geelong Hotel with me?
No.
Why not?
Of course. It's a hole. Mashed potatoes. Rection is a great choice. It is a great choice. Let's see if we can we're on 79 viewers at the moment.
Hello.
Let's see if we can get to 100.
Get to the ton.
If everyone or if 10 people or 20 people message their friends, let's get to 100 and Shorty will do something that might involve some nudity. Let's just say
Jesus Christ.
You've still got to do something. You're locked into some nudity.
I'll do something weird if we hit the ton.
If we get to 100 viewers as your social media entrepreneur.
Yeah, message your mates. And if you haven't subscribed already, I'd love you to get on board.
And to AFL Unlimited as well on Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Like and subscribe and comment and all that sort of stuff. So thoughts on Rowell to Tim Kelly. Keep an eye on Tim Kelly. He looks back to good form this year.
He did, didn't he?
Have a look at what happens after Shuey and potentially Elliot Yeo comes back.
The boy's back. Spook is back.
In the channel. Any quick tips? Thinking about uploading. This is a genuine question. Good thumbnails. Quick, concise videos. Don't put long ones on unless you're live streaming, which you won't be for uploading footy vids. That's it.
It's pretty good.
Thoughts on
Caden McDonald gave me the advice about the thumbnails, which I'd probably already received from other parties. But when the big KDOS says straighten up your thumbnails, you straighten them up. So I think that's worked. But
they look great. So thoughts on Tom Mitchell for Supercoach this year? Yes. Do you think Travis Boak will be? Who was that from? Sorry, I want to.
Oh boy, give some credit.
That was from Blessed 011. Cassius Clay says, do you think Travis Boak will be consistent and should I get him over Rowell? I think he will be consistent. He has been pretty consistent. Yeah.
The last couple of years, I mean.
Who else is in that Port midfield?
Well, you've got Rockcliffe who started as a sub. You've got Wines. They're your 3 big bulls, and they like to throw in They like to throw in a bit of pace on the ball. Your Butters, your Dersmans might get it. Willem Drew is really interesting that he was in front of Rockcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have all of Rockcliffe Drew wines.
Very slow, doesn't it?
Yeah. And Sam Powell-Pepper's still not in the picture. So interesting to see what happens there. Mashed potatoes is no good. Kappa's men, I got Draper and Gawn as rucks and Flynn on the bench. Well, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good combo. Yeah.
Just wait and see on Draper. I mean, I'll be doing the same. I mean, if he's worth giving another crack. You know, who have the Bombers got this week? We did the tips before Port Adelaide.
I got Port Adelaide.
So again, he'll have a couple of ruckmen to contend against, but it's not like he's up against
that's a good point, actually. Yeah, Laddams and Lycett.
The Aquatics man is back again. Danger and Tracy, Tahini and Zeeble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cam Tahini.
Look, I think Zeeble's the one you got to just find a way to get into your team. I wouldn't jump at Heaney. I think when Sydney play well, if Heaney's playing forward, which you never know when Franklin comes back, but I think he'll always play a fair bit forward at the moment. When Sydney go all right, he's probably going to go okay, but he will have days where he's a little bit colder and he will frustrate you. Brad, decided on Walsh and Brayshaw.
Andrew?
Yeah, must be. He did score one, for
That's
Rowell
good.
and Danger. And bank 60-odd K. I think they could easily finish top 8 based on their fixtures.
Ooh, in the mid.
Yeah, look, I mean...
Andrew Brayshaw won't be a top 8 mid.
No, Brayshaw's the risky one there. I mean, I endorse Walsh, but yeah. We'll have to
Walsh could be top 10 mid for sure.
Mashed potatoes, Spooky Mookie with Rise Quickly. A little bit of a erection gag there, I believe, Jake.
It's very funny for mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Tom Keir says, do you think Titch will quickly become a central mid? I think so. Yeah, you'll want him in your team.
If he had a preseason, if he played one preseason game, he was always nicely priced. It just,
saucily priced.
DeGoey.
Jordan DeGoey is messaging us.
Jordan's jumped on board.
Social media. Says, thanks for Hayden Young. Scored really well, Hayden Young.
He did score.
88. He looked real good.
Yeah.
Real good. Couldn't kick very well, though. He had a lot of turnovers. He was kicking it to May and Lever a lot, and he still scored 88.
Yeah,
I reckon he would have turned up. I reckon he had 4 direct turnovers, so
interesting.
He should have turned up. How good is Hunter Clark? Yes, he is very good.
And thoughts on Petrarca and McRae?
Yeah.
I'd still just, I don't know. I feel like we can get Petrarca. Yeah, I feel like we can get Petrarca
cheaper.
at a better price. But McRae, you can bank on all day long.
Do you want to take this next one? What's the name here?
We got Dildo Shaggins.
Dildo Schwaggins, I believe.
Schwaggins.
I believe it's a Lord of the Rings reference. Bilbo Baggins, you idiot.
I don't watch Lord of the Rings, man. Do you think I watched Lord of the Rings?
Oh, God, Dildo Schwaggins. That's actually really
good pun, that one.
It's a really cool name. You've never seen any media. Surely we can't. Are you keeping to go either way the Pies look? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Because hopefully they turn things around.
A lot can change.
Oh my goodness, he scored pretty poorly, but don't write him off yet. Desi Carter, what round do the prices rise? We think 2 games, and the 3rd game is the price for us.
Because it was only the 2nd game last year because the season was short.
Correct.
So
Correct.
Terry Wallace.
Correct. Rest in peace.
Billy, and I pronounced his name the other day like Baranganang.
Yes, I messaged you. You were like, Billy, this one's hard. Branand again? And I messaged you. It's like, it's Brannigan. It's easy. Thoughts on Ollie Henry? I've mentioned that I'll probably be trading him before the price rises to a better rookie to make sure you've got all the good rookies playing by round 2. He just doesn't look like he can score.
Yeah.
And I think I got carried away by the fact that he's Jack Henry's brother and by the fact he took an awesome mark in that practice match against Geelong. And I was like, oh, geez, he's got skills, but he didn't get touch. So Stephen Booker, has everyone forgotten Dusty scores well round 1 every year, then falls away to about round 7 or 8? Dunkley a much better pick for me if you've seen him on the weekend. Yeah, it's a fair point. He's still going to be top 5 forward. So
yeah, it's not to say that he's going to average 120 instead of like he'll probably still average between 100 and 105.
Yeah,
I probably think it'll be closer to 105. But
Yeah, they've got
like you
this
said,
week too.
yeah, either way, I mean, you want him in your side. You want him and Dunkley. The famous come to Revs, best place on the planet. Heading to Revs.
Jeepers.
We could just see the sun come up, mate. Knock a few Canadian clubs back.
I had a few Canadian clubs.
Did you?
Over the last week? Yeah, the Dry and Cola.
Yeah, right.
They just go down so like smoothly.
They do.
And I've had like 3, and before you know it, you're like, Jesus, they've just gone right through. I don't drink much.
Wayne's like, boys, get me a CC. Are you working Thursday?
Yes, till 11 o'clock. I'm 11 o'clock
right.
now for good on
really?
Thursday night.
Shit.
So
Okay.
it's like,
I was going to say,
enjoy your Friday off. You've got to work till 11 every week. So it just kills me. Everyone.
PewDiePie.
Do you know who PewDiePie is?
I do.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
you know who PewDiePie is, but you don't know who Dildo Schwaggins is. Everyone, do not trade until price changes unless you need to. Spot on.
Emphasis on the capitals. This man means business.
Everyone. All of you. And then need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just in case.
Yep.
Make
Benny?
sure. Benny boy.
I've gone
Bond over McRae. If it wasn't for this shit disposal efficiency, he would have gone big. Still managed to score 2-1-2-0 with Gorn as captain. Wow.
That's Bond.
You're just looking at a couple of blokes who didn't score quite to those levels. So I'd be pretty pleased with that. And yeah, like you mentioned before, some days it'll be McRae, some days it'll be Bond. And every dog will have their day.
Someone in the AFL 360 group they were like, who should I trade? Buderick and Zach Guthrie too, and they scored 2,100.
What?
And they had Buderick.
See, it's shit like that just makes me lose my
We planned
mind.
for like 8 months.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get Buderick in and score 2,001. What to do with Danger? Dusty, Dunkley, Titch, Boak, basically. Matt Nichols, the umpire. He's like,
if you're the umpire, you've got to let us know.
Yeah. Had Dangerfield to Mitchell and McCluggage to Boak. Don't trade McCluggage yet. Brisbane had a very poor game, but Dangerfield to Mitchell. Yep. John Coxey's back. Do you reckon trade out N Cox from Essendon and O Henry?
He's trading the old.
He's just giving up his firstborn son. What did N Cox score? Not well. He's like a key forward, isn't he, or a key back?
Well, yeah, he will be. They're sort of playing him on the wing, but you look up his scores. I don't think it was good.
I thought he did okay. My internet
50s or can't you get internet?
No, it's just the old internet out of the sticks here.
Oh, Watto's going to sleep.
Oh, that's all right. He was going to come around later, but
he must be bugging.
I think that Rob, a question for Langers. With Dangerfield looking, I'm the coach expert here. Thanks, Bob. Question for Langers. With Dangerfield looking to miss weeks, would you endorse Collingwood Academy player? Oh, he almost got me there.
What did he do?
He's almost got me with the 15 touches and 9 marks in the VFL. It's very likely.
He even pumped your tyres up.
Yes. So he almost
gave you a little kiss on the cheek.
I'm smarter than that, mate. This idiot will fall for it, but not me, all right? Rob.
You got to be... Bob will send you a couple of curly ones.
I'll slot into your back pocket if you're not careful. He almost had me there. And you like how he put it?
Rolling.
He did it so the name is on the next line too.
Genius. So Nick Cox scored 33.
I thought you What did he score?
33.
No, get rid of him.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Tarrant? Oh, sorry. GRB Aquatics is back. Sorry, I've skipped about that.
Yeah.
Gus, thoughts on the Koshas or Bose? Don't get carried away, but Bose had 30 touches at 100% efficiency.
100%.
That's insane.
I have him in draft.
Really?
Yeah.
He scored 130 something.
Yeah.
Have you not checked draft?
I did check draft, yeah.
Prick.
Top of the ladder, baby. Bang.
Hate how Chook beats me.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the Koshas? Yeah. Nah, probably not for that price. He's like 4 or something. Yeah, no, yeah.
No, I wouldn't either. You don't have to fuck around in the back line, Jake. Don't mess around in the back line, mate. Back line, we've got a lot of reliable types.
In hindsight, I should have stacked my back line with premiums.
How many
Short,
you got back there?
Stewart. I've got 3. Lloyd, McRae, Lloyd, Daniel, and Laird. So that's fine. I should have gone 1 more premium and then Young and Clark. Should have gone Stewart and then Young and Clark and got rid of Tom Green probably. Caldwell over Heaney.
Well, no, I wouldn't be pulling that trigger.
How was Caldwell? You had him
74, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
But he played well.
He played the role well.
I don't know what he didn't do, but he had 22 touches and 9 tackles. So I don't know.
Unlucky to get.
He must have used it well, but no, I would wait on that one, see what young Caldwell does in round 2. Justin, thoughts on Taranto? Yeah, without seeing the game, I mean, it read exactly how we probably expected. Good numbers, good score, solid midfield time. You could definitely bring him in with a bit of confidence.
Thoughts on Taranto? Yes, if you're moving up from Rowell or potentially Dangerfield, looks pretty solid. Jonathan Lenkich, Buddy likely to be back this week. I'll just take the show. Buddy likely to be back this week. Could Heaney move into the midfield? It's quite possible. Don't count on it. Wait probably 1 week after Buddy's played to see what happened. But if Heaney moves midfield, jump on that absolutely, because he will just rack it up and still kick goals for sure. Clamp You Up says, hey boys, should I go Neil down to Mitchell and then Cripps up to Boak? Neil down to Mitchell. Don't get rid of Neil at all. He's going to be in your team at the end of the year. He will score 120 plus this week. And then Cripps up to Boak. Don't get rid of Cripps either yet. Give him at least until the first price rise. And if they're not going well, then look at getting Boak in for probably Cripps and not Neil. David Burns says, thoughts on McGrath as Rowell replacement? Absolutely, yes. Matt Nichols, the umpire again. Thoughts about Oleg Markov this year? Interesting. Yeah, I saw he got a lot of touches and he seemed to play pretty well. Keep an eye on it, but I think he's a pretty awkward price and he's never had premium anything years numbers, so don't go near Oleg Markov. Josh Pollock, thoughts on Luke Ryan? Had him round 1, not sure about him with Young stealing kickouts. Yeah, keep an eye on it. Hamling and Pearce are out for the Dockers, so see how that affects Ryan at all. If it's just Young and Ryan taking the kickouts, and Ryan might go back to that intercepting role that saw him score really well last year with Pearce and Hamling out. So it was Ryan and Brennan Cox for Freo doing all the heavy lifting for intercept marks and run off half back. So Paddy P says, if Dow goes shitty again, Dow to Warner and McNeil to some better rookie. Definitely move McNeil on to a better rookie. Dow, I don't know. Dow's still Dow didn't do too bad. He scored 60. And had he have kicked that goal, he would have scored 75 to 80 probably. So
I'm surprised no one's mentioned him just yet, because I expected to probably hear from
bigger fires to put out.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to just see what he does this week, don't you? Surely. You watched the game, yeah?
Richmond Carlton, yeah.
How was his centre-bounce attendance? Because
I didn't see, but he was playing
Fisher.
Yeah,
they
were playing him forward. They need to play Fisher forward and down the guts.
That's what I thought they were going to do. So watch that close.
Spooky says, 8 fellas. Last question before I go to this McFlurry and end up ruining the night by explaining what Supercoach is. Langers, what is your one pet peeve about Shorty? Well, we'd have to do a whole other podcast because I could fill it up. One pet peeve. Do I go honest or do I go...
Yeah, hit me with some honesty, bro.
Well, you're late.
I'm always late.
You're always late. I always joke...
Yeah, I'll be there at 6, mate.
I always joke to Tiz that... You'll be late to your own funeral. You'll be late to your own wedding. You'd go to accept like the world just good bloke award and be late, I reckon.
It's amazing I rock up to work on time sometimes.
I genuinely don't know how you do it. So that's it. Hado Shrek just tuned in. Should I change Rowell to Caldwell or Phillips? If it's Rowell, I'd probably be looking at Taranto, Walsh, McGrath in the midfield, but if it has to be a forward, probably Phillips, I would say. But don't do anything yet. Hopefully you've got enough mid coverage to maybe just park Rowell for a week and just see how either of them go.
Yeah,
unless you want to pull the trigger on Walsh.
Purely looking at those two, we need to see another week. Yeah. Just if you had to pick one of those two and you don't want to do anything else, then I couldn't make a definite call just yet, but BHB, trying to find a replacement for Rowell. Who do you guys recommend for just under 500k? Well, we are a little bit broken record now, but yeah, definitely Taranto we've mentioned. You mentioned McGrath. Or is he a touch over?
He was 5'10", so if you can...
Chera's definitely a chance. I mean, Jai Simpkin, my boy,
What did he score?
only 87.
Oh, that's not bad.
But
he was on like 72 with like 3 or 4 minutes to play.
Was he?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's not a bad score.
He looked
89.
good. He was named the Roos' second best player. So
he was good. I was going to message and be like, Simpkin's not going well.
Yeah.
But 89's not bad at all. That's like one kick and mark off a ton. So thoughts on Hickey? Yep, Shorty loves getting them on his neck. We did discuss him before, but probably not. Is Steve-O a trap? Yes, because there's all the North mids coming back.
Lots of mids coming back.
Red
Line recordings. And who asked the Hickey question?
Yep. Placey 100. If Grundy has another shocker and Flynn dominates again, could it be worth considering? No. I know I'm in the same gun and I don't have Flynn. I've got Paul Hunter, so sick.
You've got to have Flynn in some regard, but not for Grundy.
Not for Grundy.
I
will be getting Flynn on the bench, your boy. Yeah. Do you reckon drop Cripps for Dusty? No.
Cripps played a bad third quarter. Yep. Is that fair to say?
Yep. I
don't know the exact, but I heard he was on about 60 odd at halftime.
Yeah, he was killing it.
And then when I got home from work, he won like 3 centre clearances. Yeah. So now hold the faith with Cripps. I still think he'll average 110.
He's going to be huge this year. I still reckon he could win the Brownlow. The fact that he's bigger and he was just taking people on.
Yeah. That one you tagged me where it's just like, bang.
So good. And Baker's just like, wow.
Yeah.
That little Mario character. He's like,
just got bitched.
Wow.
Yeah. Celeb City.
Think you've danger to Andy.
This has to be some sort
I'm
of
not going to say that. Oh, yes, it is. Andy. Yep. Clamp you up says, do I just not trade after scoring 2,000 or go kneel down to Mitchell? Don't trade if you're scoring over 2,000. You're going okay. Don't trade any of your premiums until at least round 4, and they've gone poorly. Leo O'Brien says, thoughts on Stephen May, 140, and Amy Gavin, 117 now in round 1. He finished last year amazingly.
Yeah.
He was very unlucky to miss out on All-Australian, so keep an eye on him. If he's going to keep intercepting like that, as one of the commenters said before, the intercept markers look to be dominating.
And he's strangely a really good kick.
Yeah, he's
a key defender.
Great kick, yeah.
He's a really good kick. Where are we? Costa. Who's the better?
What's that last name?
Costa Kurianis.
That's pretty good.
It's not too
good
bad.
Job.
Who's the better danger replacement, McGrath or Basilenka? I would probably go with McGrath. Yeah, I think Smith is, probably you could say 5th or 6th in the Doggies midfield, and he'll have his games where he does what he did. But McGrath, you could mount the case, is number 2 behind Merritt, so I would be going with him. Matthew Heath, thoughts on trading the Bergman out for James Jordan? Or wait another week. I reckon use Brockman to move. Oh, Costa's out. He's done. What are you trading Bergman out already?
He scored 31.
Just settle down, mate.
He scored 31. Not yet, but if I need another rookie correctional trade, like Bergman out for Flynn. Maybe if I can swing that or Hunter.
Yeah, you're right. Don't pull the trigger on Bergman just yet because the roles could reverse. Bergman could score 70 odd this week and Jordan could score like 42.
He's turnover king, Bergman.
He seemed fumbly as. Yeah. Anyway.
I didn't see anything, but apparently I've heard from 3 different sources that he was very bad kick.
I maintain that he can play.
Do we want to zip through a few of these to finish off?
Feel free to go whenever you like, mate.
Yeah,
I'll we'll see how we go, but I reckon go through at about 9-ish.
Oh, cool.
If you want to jog on, you can.
Yeah, I'll do a couple more questions and I'll probably go and edit the podcast. So for the people that are listening, if you haven't heard already, we do a podcast with a couple of our mates as well. AFL Unlimited on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be probably on YouTube soon as well. But
will we?
Spotify. Yeah, the AFL stuff on YouTube kicks off. So
yeah, right.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, episodes out every Tuesday morning around 10 a.m. So like us on Facebook. We love getting fan interaction. So pretty much everyone in this comment section will love all of our content if you love Shorty's content. So make sure you give us a follow and like on that. But yeah, I'll probably go home and edit that shortly. So I'll get through a few more questions and leave you in the capable hands of Shorty as my mouth begins to fail me. So Gus wants to thank you for all the effort this year. Really enjoyable content.
Nice.
And can you set up an in-store social media so you can easily update us all without having to go on YouTube? I can tell you firsthand that he can't set up an in-store social media because he's technologically devoid. But yes, you have smashed the content this year. This has probably been your best.
Thank you.
Best pre-season of Shorty Supercoach.
And thank you, Gus. I appreciate that, mate. I have dabbled. I do have an Instagram account.
He's
Shorty
tried.
Supercoach. I have a Facebook account, Shorty Supercoach, but I'm not a massive social media guy, particularly over the weekend.
Messages, so.
Particularly over the weekend. So, it's something I would never fully write off. But particularly over the weekend, I'm just not much of a, sort of posting regular updates and that type of thing. But I definitely wouldn't mind having another way to access the fans and whatnot. But
you can just post on YouTube too. You can just do a text post.
Can you?
Yeah.
Did not know that either.
It just goes to your subscribers and they see it as they scroll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can say on YouTube that
because sometimes
doing a live
the
live streams have been great. People are getting around them too really well. So
Jonathan saw on Twitter Luke McDonald could miss a few weeks with a quad. Interesting. That helps Jack Zeeble and Lockie Young. Yeah, right.
Jack Zeeble 100% get him in.
Didn't realise that it could have been a few weeks. He's in my draft, so that hurts. Matt Nichols. People forget Dusty broke his ribs early last year and now has run his best time trials even during pre-season.
Didn't even know that.
So, I didn't really. I think Dusty's a lock. There's no doubt about that. Ryan says Jordan for Campbell or Powell. I would not be doing either.
I'd definitely get Jordan in
for
your worst performing.
Look to get Jordan in, but there's got to be other ways.
Campbell will go big one day. Campbell's going to go into the midfield and
he'll have a day where he just hits targets all day long. The Dank Fish. I've got Gawn and Grundy with Flynn on the bench. I trade out Dangerfield for David Dunkley. Nothing wrong with that, mate. That's good stuff. Ricky Ross. Thoughts on Tommy Mitchell?
Ricky.
Or Fife for Dangerfield? Which do you rate more?
A lot of Fife talk. What did Fife score?
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. But I feel more comfortable with Mitchell.
Yep.
Freo,
it's struggling.
I still think as good as Fife is, there will be some days where he just plays a little bit more forward and maybe the Dockers just cop a little bit more heat. I don't think there'll be much difference in what they average, though. So,
clamp you up.
What the fuck?
Clamp you up later. But, you can do Hunter to Flynn. Wait the 2 weeks or whatever to do that before the price rises. Placey 100 thoughts on the Phillips pick, lads. Pretty happy I started him. Yeah, if you started him, great. Hopefully he averages 95 plus. Yeah, you could probably expect him to score 90 every week, pretty much. And he probably would be an F5, F6, maybe a Zeeble at F6. So that's a great pick. If you there's not a lot of senior players that play for Hawthorn. There's not a lot. And he's a genuine gun, Phillips. I can't believe still he got pick 63 or whatever.
It is amazing.
He fell off my whatever I was sitting on at the time. I'm going to give Grundy one more game, says the Tank Fish. And then maybe trade him out for Flynn. It keeps going well. Well, I'll give you Grundy's going to score 120 plus this week, so against Pitnet. Kettle Boy, you reckon Danger to Mitchell is a good call? Yes. Nathan Champness, Cripple looking very behind the pace of the game. IMO, jeepers, that's not what I saw. He was taking the game on and attacking people and had 3 people hanging off him, and he was
sounded like he was best on ground at halftime.
Halftime, I was like, it was like the Bulldogs game. First 5 minutes Bulldogs game, I was like, Jesus, Bulldogs are just going to destroy sides by 100 points every year.
Yeah.
Cripps was like, I was like, he's going to win the Brownlow, the Coleman, give him 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's Coleman. What's your favourite shapes player though, Jake?
What's the purple one?
Pizza.
Yeah, they're good.
You're a pizza guy.
And when you get all the crumbs at the bottom, when you tip the bag and.
Yeah, a pig of a thing. Yeah.
Yep.
More of a barbecue guy myself.
Just the standard. Yeah, they're good. Yeah. It gets a bit like you just have them all the time. So,
yeah.
The remember when they changed the flavors and it was like a national Australian crisis?
Yeah.
It was like people were like
People
storming the Arnott's headquarters with like pitchforks and all right, I'll do one more and then I'll head off.
To Mayo.
Meal. Hey,
Guys.
Shorty, I have 114k in the bank and right now in still 2 trades. Should I upgrade someone or just keep the cash? It's hard to say. You could have Connor Buderick. So it's...
I mean, if you don't need to do anything, then don't.
Yeah.
If you've got that coin in the bank, then just pocket that for a rainy day, my friend. It'll come in handy one day.
People go nuts on the trades, and I'm a victim of that. And I just run out of trades. I know it's rage trade. I know it's sexy to trade. Bang, bang, get 2 out of the barrel really quick. But hold them. Correctional trades, correctional rookie trades. Get the cash generation because there's no point having trades if you're trying to sideways trade primos and bad selections later in the year.
Feels like you got heaps at the moment, but I tell you what, it'll get around 16, 17. You got 5, and you're
like when it's got the 2 in the front, you're like, I'm fine. I've got like 23, and then 21, and then you're like, I've got 19 trades left.
You go through the buys,
and it's like I've got 11 trades left.
Yeah,
holy crumb! But it's pretty much 1 up, 1 down for the whole season of a primo to a rookie. So that's me done. I think
that's you done. Well,
thanks, mate.
Thank you very much
for having me.
Thank you.
AFL Unlimited on Instagram and Twitter. Just plugging the podcast.
Well, we never got to 100, mate, so it's disappointing. I'll keep my clothes on.
We're
for
on
this
69
episode.
now.
Well, give us 5 minutes.
Hope you enjoyed my company. Make sure you leave some commentary for me down
below.
Let
me know what you thought.
Let me know later on.
I'm
sure you'll recognise me from previous videos, and hopefully I'll be back for some more live streams or videos in the future. But
we got to do a goal kicking video, so
100%. Just quickly on my team.
Yes.
I didn't do anything wrong. The only thing I thought that may be bad is having Green and Cripps in the midfield, and neither of them fired, and one of them has to fire.
Yeah.
And I just mucked up my rookies. I had Goulden on field. I don't have Flynn, so that's a muck up. I didn't have Rowell on field, and I just ruined my rookies, but I'm happy with all of my choices. So.
Yeah, good. No, it's
okay.
It's plenty of time.
Thanks.
Good stuff, mate. Thanks for having me on board.
In the car on the way home.
Chuck it on.
I'll leave a random comment in there. Thanks,
everyone.
Thanks.
I'll probably just get rid of this. Oh, shit.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my goodness.
Those chairs bounce quite a lot.
Thanks, mate. Good night.
See you, mate. I'll talk to you. Well, I nearly broke my chair. Just a flimsy little A-Mart purchase. Good to have a bit of company on the live feed. Good to have Langers on board. Hopefully you enjoyed his contribution. I'll probably, I don't know, go for another 20-odd minutes or something like that. But yeah, good to have you guys on board once again. Like I say often, if you haven't subscribed already, I'd love you to. I appreciate all the contributions and that sort of thing. So yeah, awesome to have again. We were sort of peaking up around 80-odd people, so that seems really cool. But I'll keep whipping through a few questions, and we'll see how we go. Where were we up to? Redline Recordings, I think, was our man. Brayshaw versus Walsh. Both looked very good on the weekend. Quick reason behind why you prefer Walsh. Yeah, well, I just think Walsh is going to be a much better player down the track, and I just think he's probably got a bit better balance in his game. I feel like Walsh can hurt you both on the outside and has the ability to win it on the inside. And I just feel like at the moment he has a bit more ability to win more of the footy. Only just. I see him getting just the slightest bit more opportunity than Brayshaw. I think Walsh is, you could argue he's Carlton's number one mid right now. I still think Cripps is, but you could argue the case. Where Brayshaw was clearly very good on the weekend, but there is a lot of talent in there and a lot of youngsters. And I know last year at times he got pushed to a wing. Hopefully for his sake, it's different this year. Matthew, I thought Dom Tyson was the one, but he shut the bed. It's brain dead if I want to keep him. He looked lost. Well, yeah, I seriously considered Dom Tyson as well. I really did. I think if he didn't fire on the weekend, I am preaching, give it one more week. Give it one more week. You just never know what he can do. But I'd probably have the finger on the trigger for that one, particularly with the Roos coming back. Haydo, Dusty overrated. He won't score that well again till the back end of the season. No, he may well not, but he'll score plenty of 90s, 107, 80 odd. He's a keeper, so you just need him in your team. Ryan, yeah, I've got no money left, though. I scored 2,100. Might just leave the team as is. Mate, if I scored 2,100, I would not touch it. So I'd be pleased with that, mate. Dylan, thoughts on moving Rowell to Chera? Yeah, he's a guy that we've spoken about and one that I'm a big fan of. I'm probably putting Taranto on top in terms of replacements, but Chera's right up there. Celeb City's been pumping the questions out. Thank you, mate. Thoughts on downgrading? Celeb, he's been punching the funny stuff out today. He's been punching the funny stuff, and he nearly got me there too. He nearly got me there. Keep them coming, though. I'll say one of them soon enough. The Dank Fish, I scored 2,030 this week with Flynn, Rowe, and Goulden on my bench. Wow. I've traded Danger for Dunks this week. I've got 95K in the bank. I don't want to waste trades, but I'm thinking Jordan for Bruin. Again, I like your move with Danger. I like your side. Obviously scored really well, particularly missing out on those rookie scores. And just hold. I would say, yeah, probably do that with the Jordan one, but just wait and see. Particularly with rookies, just give it 2 weeks. Matty's back. I had Gordon, Flynn, Rowe on the bench. It would have been a popular problem and a tough problem to have too. I reckon we might just be through the questions. How about that? That doesn't often happen, which is cool. Kettleboy, Mitchell or Dusty for Dangerfield? Well, the question really is, are you going forward? Are you going mid? How's your sort of whole structure looking? I think Dusty's an absolute must-have. I thought that before. He scored 150 odd. But you're winning with both. Assess your team. How's it look? What rookies do you have to expose, depending which way you go? But you're winning with both. Carter, Tom Mitchell is a jet, had 17 touches in a quarter, just a ball magnet. He is, isn't he? He's an absolute ball magnet. And Langers, Inception. 1 minute he's on the channel, next minute he's driving home, and he's making comments. What an absolute loose unit. But there you go. Get along to his photography channel. Can take a photo of that young man. And AFL Unlimited, get the podcast going. Max Stevens, I traded out Danger for Mitchell and Cox for Lockie Young. Thoughts? Yeah, I like that. I like both of them. And look, off the back of what we saw on the weekend, Lockie Young really did produce some good numbers. And, part of me says just wait and see what he does again. But, look, I understand sort of pulling the trigger there. Celeb City, he's back. Not sure about the Z-Bull. Thinking he will drop with McDonald back in. Might upgrade. Or Dow. Look, a fella said before that McDonald could be out for about a month. So if that's the case. And Z-Bull, he's still a lock. Yeah, look, if McDonald's in that side, that 117 or whatever he scored, it might be 101. It might be 96. But it's still really good stuff. He's still going to play a really good role. BHP, how do you feel about trading Rowell for Jordan from Melbourne and then trading Highmore to Mills from Sydney? Look, I don't feel that. Highmore didn't do anything wrong. He looks like he's got good job security, one of the few down back. Do you have another rookie that you can do that with? Because I don't mind. In essence, you're going Rowell to Mills and you're exchanging some rookies. So I don't mind that. But Highmore doesn't really need to be turfed just yet. Redline's back. How'd you feel about the Doggies midfield? Trelaw low game. Do you think eventually he'll be back to 30-plus touches and Baz or Dunk will suffer? Yeah, I think we could just get a bit of a, what do they call it, a merry-go-round for the Doggies midfield. You'll see 1 week, a collection of those guys will have 30-plus, collection will have 25-plus. And the next week it could be the other way around. Trelaw will find his best form. Maybe if he starts slow, he could be a really handy pickup. But he'll get himself right. Let's not forget, not only is he into a new side, but a pretty rough pre-season as well. A lot of media speculation in the body. He only just got up for the game, really. Will it affect Smith and Dunkley, I don't think significantly because they were all playing in the one team on the weekend. But, I think they'll be okay. Gee, Saucy, I'm thinking about trading Danaher for Dow and bringing in either James Jordan or Flynn. Just sit tight, mate. Just hold on that one. See what this week brings us. I think, you might pull the trigger on a couple of those soon, but just not yet. You'll need to get Flynn in, I feel. But just wait and see what we get in round 2. Jevex, if Stevenson gets over 100 and Green less than 70, do I swap? Excuse me. I still think Stevenson is a trap. I really do. There'll be a stage in the season where he just scores 65, 71, and people will be tearing their hair out. So if Green goes below 70, you're probably going to have to get rid of him. I wouldn't do it for Stevenson. I'd have to have a bit more of a look at who you might go. But just wait and see. Let's hope for your sake Green can respond. A&K Sports, drop a sub, Shorty, big fan. Good man. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you jumping on board, or if you've been on board for a while, I appreciate that too. So, thanks for getting involved on the old live session. And, if anyone is watching and haven't subscribed, I'd love you too, because gives me a good indication of sort of, people's interest and that sort of thing. Brandon, Rowell and McNeil to Zeeble and Clark. Zeeble to Clark. I think Zeeble's a must. I'm guessing you mean Hunter Clark, maybe Jordan. Both you're probably going to be happy with. But, I think McNeil he's just got that sense of a rookie that's going to struggle to score. Slab City, Shorty, I can't do them anymore because you're reading the messages slowly. Well, mate, I read them quick once upon a time and read out a racist remark. So Shorty's just got to be a little careful sometimes. But no, you never know. You never know. Carter, I have CJ in my team. Looks really good. Would you have him or Clark or Hayden Young? What did he score? That's probably the really interesting question, because he looked good, didn't he? He looked really good. Scored 69. Interesting. I would still preference Young and Clark ahead of him. I think he's probably going to be a better selection than maybe I thought, just with his dash, but I still think Clark and Young are ahead of him. Adam, Neil to Titch and Cozzy to Young in defence. No, keep Neil. Don't jump ship just off one sort of poor performance. He'll be back. He'll be top 2 or 3 mids in the game this year. Brisbane had a bad day. He didn't have his best day. No need to pull that trigger just yet. Sleb's off. Yeah, good stuff, mate. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for jumping on board. You're a good man. You're definitely one of me top subs here. And he says see you to Langers as well. So if you're in the car, Langs, he appreciates your involvement. But good stuff, mate. Thanks for all the questions. Have a good one. Corey's back. Should I go Boak or Mills for Dangerfield? I probably would go Mills, to be honest. I think he's a definite lock for the top echelons of the back line, where Boak is probably around your top 10. So I'd preference Mills, but you're probably winning with both, to be fair. The Dankfish, thoughts on captains this week? I'm thinking VC Gawn. If he goes well, Loophole. If bad, maybe McRae. Your thoughts? Yeah, God, I was looking at it today. Let me get the fixture up. Bloody captains are real tough at the moment. I don't know. After round 1, I don't feel like I don't have that confidence in some of the guys I thought I would have confidence in. Let's see. Look, you could mount the case for Dusty against Hawthorn again. McRae against the Eagles, couldn't argue with that. Gawn against a young Ruckman, gosh, I'd be confident with that. I seriously think Cripps and Neil will respond. What I would say on that, whichever way you land, and if you can do a VC loophole, I'd be conservative. If they score 115, I'd probably take it because at the moment there's a lot of shit going on. There's a bit of carnage. So that's maybe something to think about. Be conservative with your loophole scores. Instead of, sometimes we're greedy, maybe be more conservative. The Aquatics is back. Jones and Bergman on the forward bench. Hold off trading Dangerfield. Look, let's wait and see. If Danger gets 3 weeks, then you've just got a turf, you might think. If he gets 2, then maybe you feel the need. Maybe you think your bench can cover it. You can have a think about that. But I would err on the side of trading him. I think we've got a lot of trades. It's what they're there for. Carnage early. That'd probably be my assessment. Saucy, keep Tom Phillips for the moment. 100%, mate. I haven't been his biggest fan, but he stuck it up me on the weekend, had a really nice score. So, yeah, if he does it again, people are going to probably look to bring him in. So, yeah, hold him. Redline, Danger and Rowell to McGrath and Dunkley or Titch and Zeeble. Big time Tom Mitchell and Zeeble. I think you've got, Dunkley I think is going to be good. Out of those 4, McGrath's clearly the one that you don't have to have, where Zeeble you got to have, and Tom Mitchell just showed us the sort of premium he is. So, yeah, get him in. Carter, have Paul Hunter on my bench. Should I use the trade for Flynn? Again, I'd say just put your finger on the trigger. You're just about to pull it, but just hold 1 week. Hold one because you just don't know. You just don't know what Flynn's going to do. Could come out, score 46, could get injured. Hunter could have a day. Probably not against Gawn, but he could. So I'd say very likely you'd do that, but always give our rookies 2 weeks. A&K Sports, you mates with George or DR? I'm actually not. No, I don't know the guys. I wouldn't mind connecting with some fellow Supercoach people. I ran into Caden McDonald at the shops today. That was pretty random. I don't know Caden super well, but I, occasionally see him around and, occasionally message here and there. But no, I don't know those fellow Supercoach guys. There is a much bigger Supercoach content creator following now on YouTube and whatnot. So it would be cool to maybe one day unite for whether it's a league, whether it's anything. Could be kind of cool. Aquatics is going VC Neal into Gawn. I think that's a pretty solid way to go about it. Cooper Collins, which 2 rookies would you start out of Powell, Campbell, and Berry? I would definitely start Campbell. That's a definite. And who have North got? North play. I feel like I looked at this before. Gold Coast? I think they play Gold Coast. I would probably still pick Powell and Campbell, to be honest. Saucy, Caleb Daniel for Ridley. It's a little bit sideways. I would give Ridley one more chance. Clearly, you're a fan of him. I mean, I love Caleb Daniel. I think you need him in your team. But whether Ridley, sideways trading a guy that you clearly liked through pre-season, I'd give him a chance to redeem himself. The Dank Fish. Flynn scored 140 on Hunter. Gawn goes 140 plus this week, but how much of Flynn's score was due to the conditions and more ruck contests? Yeah, that's a good point. He clearly made the most of it. And yeah, I'll be really interested to watch some of the ruck scores as we get through the weeks. But hey, he cashed in. That's good. Jacques is back. I need Langer's French accent here. Everyone sleeping on Zach Butters is perfect. He'll get me 95 to 100 every week. Yeah, I mean, he's particularly in such a good Port Adelaide side. I mean, to be honest, I thought he didn't really play that much midfield time. I thought he played more. I didn't see all the game, but I'm not sure if that worries you in the slightest, but he's such a creative footballer. I think he showed that he's going to average in the 90s, and yeah, you're happy with that one. Leo, top 1% right here, boys. Need advice? Ask me. Maybe you should be the one on the other end of the lens, mate. I should have Leo here doing the live feed. Sauce is back. Yeah, meant Ridley for Daniel. Whichever way you sort of want to interpret, I think Daniel's the priority, but don't sideways trade your primos just yet. Last one from Matt. Reckon Rowell will score well again, so should field him over Warner or just keep him on the pine. Cheers, mate. Love your work. Same with Langers. Thanks, mate. Thanks for your questions. Crows have got the Swans, so they're both playing each other. I'd prefer Warner. I know Rose scored really well, but he is a small forward. Warner, I think, has better scoring capabilities. I would probably still start Warner. That's what I'll be doing this week. Max Stevens, thoughts on Tom Atkins, liking what I can see in his new role? Yeah, he's going to be pretty solid, and I liked what I saw too. I would want to just give it one more week. It's not like he's cheap enough for us to absolutely rush him into the side, but yeah, you can certainly mount a pretty solid case for him, averaging around the 80-odd mark. It's a very Supercoach-friendly role. AFL Amusement, Zeeble and McRae to Buddy and a rookie for me. You've got to be taking the piss. You can't be bringing Buddy in after all this, can you? Jacques, he'll go 50-50 mid forward, and he has very few clangers. Yeah, he's clean as a whistle, isn't he? Very clean. Yeah, Leo loves it. He loves it. He's doing very nicely. Sam, any players you recommend off half back? Oh, wow. The list goes on. Jaden Short, fantastic. Caleb Daniel, fantastic. You got youngster Hayden Young, looking great. There is Jake Lloyd. There is a heap of players. I think we're stacked with the back line. So, Redline Recordings. Were you worried at all with Josh Kelly's 98? Not sure I feel about him. No, Josh Kelly's 98 was the least of my worries. Trust me, mate. No, it wasn't his best game of all time by all reports, but, still scored a solid, score. So I think, that's all good. Jevex, are you keeping an eye on Whitfield for round 8? Yeah, look, of course, Whitfield's a guy that I still see as a must-have. It's just clearly not right now. I reckon once he gets up and running, maybe perfect scenario, he might be able to just drop a touch, slowish return. You never know. The Dankfish, do you think Logan McDonald suffers with Buddy Franklin coming back? Oh, yeah, maybe ever so slightly, yeah, but there could be times where it helps him too. He'll get a weaker defender. So he'll be the target going inside 50 less, but he'll have a weaker defender. So it's probably much of a muchness. AFL Amusement, Shorty Buddy will kick 50 versus Crom, whatever the hell's going on there. Oh, Crows, USA. Yeah, I'm sure he'll have a decent return, but Buddy's not for our Supercoach anymore. Nostalgic as it is. Sammy, thoughts on Will Day? Super talent. I don't think we need to chase those points just yet. Look, see what he does round 2. If he gives us something else to think about, maybe all depending, but if you started with him, awesome job. If you're trying to get him in, I wouldn't rush for it. Sam, cheers, mate. How about cheapies at forward around 250? Well, look, Zeeble's a must. I still think Dow is going to be a scoring option. Danaher didn't have his day, but no one really did at Brisbane, and they're probably your key guys. People might argue Impey. Nothing's really changed. Those 4 guys are the ones around your 250 mark. Just pick your poison. Depends what you like. I'll probably just do a couple more, guys, and we might sort of wind it up at about 10 past. Oh, YouTube, your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Hopefully you're still hearing me loud and clear. But, Sam Walsh for me. Max Stevens, what did you think about Cat's performance? Pretty disappointing. Need a big response, but certainly no easy task against Brizzy. Yeah, massive disappointment, mate. It just seemed as if they thought it was going to happen a bit easy. The Crows were up and about. They were primed for this game, and we probably got done for a bit of pace, a bit of intensity. Fought back, but it was always going to be a bridge too far to cross, really. So, yeah, it is a disappointing result, but like with a lot of these things, you measure it a little bit more in the response, and both clubs will be thinking that. If they don't respond, then that's really cause for concern. We'll just have to wait and see. Shocking start to the year, no doubt about it. We'll look back at that one very disappointingly if top 4's close and that type of thing, but got to respond. Dankfish, if we're trading for Buddy, may as well try and get Adam Goods in while we're at it. Them days are over. Yes, I think I hope Buddy can reach the 1,000-goal mark, and I hope I can get to the game, but not for Supercoach. G Saucy, no, you said no sideways trades, but what do you reckon about Merritt for Mitchell? Nah. Now, if you're committed to merit, then just ride the course, Yeah, definitely no sideways trading, particularly for your premium mids. Back them in. Redline recordings. If Flynn goes 100 plus again, do I have to sideways trade Hunters for him? In that rookie instance, yeah, that's less of a sideways trade and more of just a rookie correction. So, absolutely. G Saucy Mitchell for merit. No, stop the sideways, boys. Come on. Adam says Ruck situation, back Grundy and Gorm. Yeah, back them in. Back them in, mate. Give them another week. Well, give them the season. They'll respond. They're superstars. G Saucy. Harsh, mate. Cool, mate. We'll do the last one from Jebex and Redline, and we'll be done. Jordan Butts to throw Buddy in the bath with Tomahawk. Loving your work, Shorty. Yeah, Butsy wasn't too bad, was he? Gave Tomahawk a bit of a bath, as you suggest. Redline, cheers for help, Shorty. Pray for the 2200s this week. Yeah, I'll be praying all right. Thanks, mate. And Andrew says, Neil for Dusty. No, hold the faith with Neil, mate. He's superstar of the game. Hold your fire. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it. We're still up around the 60 viewers, so that's awesome. Really appreciate all your questions. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love you to. But the fact is, if you're watching now, I appreciate that just as much as a subscription. So I've been doing plenty of vids through preseason. I think now I'll look to be going live once a week. And just sort of take your questions like this, whether it's on a Monday, whether it's on a Wednesday, I don't know. We'll just see. Depend on my work schedule. I'll try and get Langers back at some stage. So, I love your contribution. I love the fact that we can talk a bit of Supercoach, but also have a few laughs and take the piss a little bit as well. So, I'll be back soon. I'll probably do a little weekend preview, just given because there is so much going on. I think it's been another successful live session. I think I reckon Foxtel might have the replay of 360 at 9:30. So I reckon I'll just chuck that on and have a nice little cruisy end to the night. So thanks again for your time. Appreciate the questions as always, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.